Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo Won't Shine himself.
Of Harlem.
Y'all already know this is Punch on Boxing, aka Mr. Moo Won't Shine himself, aka el adobo de sazón el borracho el pastor de boxeo. Open up your Bibles, open up your Bibles. I was trying to find a clip of Black Jesus on YouTube, but I got to understand when the belief of Black Jesus has come into play. Yeah. I want to know. Well, I'm going to tell you the time. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the time when the people believed that Terence, Black Jesus, Black Jesus Crawford was believed by the people. I want you to open up your Bibles. I want you to open up your Bibles right now. Y'all already know the pastor de boxeo. I ain't playing around with y'all. The way that Terence Buddy Crawford and his butt buddy fans anointed him as the Black Jesus, Black Jesus, con la chancleta. And I'm going to tell you that when they saw Bo Crawford beat Errol, the tuna fish Spence, used to be the truth. From pillar to mother effing post. I'm sorry, Lord. From pillar to post. Ain't a laughing matter. You don't joke with the word of the Lord. What's good? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Randy in the building. Christian Padilla. Yo soy el pastor de boxeo. Vamos a hablar de esta vaina ahora. The way that Terence Bud Crawford beat Errol the Truth Spence, and the way that people witnessed it was like the disciple witnessed Jesus Christ walking on water. Yeah. The way that people are carrying on with this Bud Crawford beating Errol the Truth Spence from pillar to post, it was like witnessing Jesus walking on water. Yeah. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Before we start preaching, I got to put a little merengue for my brother, Randy, con la bandera de República Dominicana. Randy, dímelo, Cristian, dímelo, la música de Randy, la música de Randy. ¿A dónde queda la música de Randy? Smash the like button right now, mi gente. Randy, vamos ahora el Espíritu Santo de Bo Crawford. Dice Camelo Alex Aceche, págame la música. Jan, es serio, se got to be serious. Con esto no se juega. Christian Padilla in the building. Christian Padilla in the building. Dímelo, hermano. Christian Padilla. If you want to become a member of Punch on Boxing, you already know where to go. Smash the link, baby. Smash the mother effing link. Ahí está también mismito. Espera, ¿dónde está? If you want to become a member of Ponce Ronqui. If you want to become a member of Ponce Ronqui, ya tú sabes. Hit the smashy the linky. All right. Samir in the building. What's good, Samir? Samir in the building. What's good, Punch? Aquí. Vamos a predicar, mi gente. All right, baby. All right. Ever since Terence Bud Crawford beat Earl the Truth Spence, I'm going to say it again. Ever since Terence Bud Crawford and his booty fans, butt buddies, his butt buddies, the bud buddies. I'm sorry, the bud buddies. I ain't gonna say butt buddies. But ever since they witnessed Terence Bud Crawford beat Earl the Truth Spence from pillar to mother effing post, they feel like they just witnessed Bud Crawford walking on water like the disciples witnessed Jesus Christ walking on waters. And I'm not saying that Bud Crawford wasn't supposed to be Earl the Truth Spence. I said that Bud Crawford was going to be Earl the Truth Spence, but I also stated that Earl the Truth Spence was not that special. In my opinion, it's all over my channel, ladies and gentlemen. All over my channel. Randy con el super chari parique con los 20 pesos. Randy, para la ofrenda. Oh, la música de Randy, otra vez la música de Randy, para la ofrenda. Randy, los 20 pesos. A comprar comida china para mí, los muchachitos. ¿Quién quiere totones? ¿Usted quiere totones? Sin cachú. Vamos, Randy, con los 20 pesos. Gracias, Randy. Clase azul. In session. All right, baby. All right. Dice Canelo, Alex Sensation, págame la música. Ok. Good looking out, Randy. Good looking out, Jackie Hernández. Jackie Hernández, la reina de boxeo. Jackie, con los 5 pesos a comprar french fry con chicken wing. 2 chicken wings, 50 cents each. Gracias, mi amor. Good looking out with a super chat. Jackie Hernandez. Was good, Jackie. What's good, Jackie? So yeah, man, like for real, look, it's like I said yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. I said, yo, we went from Bud Crawford, a potential fight with, yo, what about Virgil Ortiz? Bud Crawford, what about, yo, Bruce Ennis? Bud Crawford, what about Josh Taylor moving up before the Teofimo Lopez beating Josh Taylor? They were talking about Josh Taylor moving up and fighting Terence Bud Crawford. Yo, that's a good fight. Yo, Virgil Ortiz, but that's a good fight. Bud Crawford don't want a piece of Virgil Ortiz. Now, Bud Crawford don't want a piece of Boots. What about Virgil and Bud Crawford versus Keith Tom Thurman? This outside of the early True Spence fight, and then it became, oh, what about Jamel Charlo? And now we're talking about Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. In 168 pounds. We ain't even talking about no catch weight. We ain't talking about 158, 160, 163, 64, 65. We're talking about 168 Bud Crawford. And you even got fighters saying that, yeah, Bud Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez in 168. It's something that it's something that Bud Crawford did so special and that Canelo Alvarez did so bad for people to start thinking that we went from Bud, Virgil, Bud, Boost to Bud, Canelo at 168. I'm going to say it again. Lalo Román. 2 pesos por los plátanos. Si lo quiero en plátano verde o plátanos más duros. Puerto Rico es like los plátanos maduros. Los dominicanos lo gustan el plátano verde. Ya tú sabes. How you like those totones? You want to see sweet plátano? El plátano duro. El plátano como fongo ahí. Como los peloteros. And shout out to Manny Ramirez getting to the Hall of Fame in Cleveland Indians. I don't call the Cleveland Guardians. I don't like that. Cleveland Indians. Shout out to Manny Ramirez. Gracias, Lalo. In the building con los 2 pesos de plátano. Gracias, mi hermano. Que ya los plátanos están caros. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, okay. Let's begin before we go to the Bible. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Bud Crawford, an incredible performance. Got to give credit to an incredible performance versus Errol Spence, in which many believe that this was a 50-50 fight, which many believe that Errol Spence is going to be maybe the kryptonite to Bud Crawford, which many believe that that's going to be the most threatening welterweight for Bud Crawford, which became the easiest opponent of Bud Crawford's career. But if y'all broke it down the way that your boy Mr. Moonshine broke it down, skill for skills, because that's the only way we could break it down. Who got a better jab? Who's a better counter puncher? Who got better skills? Mobility. who could switch up, adjustments, who's taking less punishment, who's a gym rat. Remember, I started talking about what they do outside of the ring, right? He's a gym rat. He lives a clean life, simple life. Errol Spence, we see him little. He go to Dubai, baby. He go to Dubai, baby. Cheat on the wife. He cheated on me. He go to Dubai, baby. Huh? So his life is in order outside of the ring. His life is in order inside of the ring. Bud Crawford had everything, every criteria and skill set. He had it all figured out. He checked all the boxes. But now, because of one victory, one elite victory, ladies and gentlemen, one elite victory. Because before Earl the True Spence, the criticism of Bud Crawford, whether you think it was fair or not, whether you think it was justifiable or not, that the biggest name in Bud Crawford's resume was either Gamboa when he fought him in his prime, or Sean Porter when he fought him in his last leg. Bud Crawford been criticized a lot. Some of them have, you could give a legitimate criticism on his resume compared to the other greats and stuff like that, or the other elite fighters, or other people in the pound for pound, right? You all know that a guy like Canelo Alvarez, his resume is gold, is lucrative, is special. His resume got special legendary names. Bud Crawford, before Errol Spence, César con los 2 pesos, con los 2 pesos, César con los 2 pesos de plátano. Gracias de lo mío, César. Gracias. César, yeah, Crawford versus Tio is more realistic than Crawford versus Canelo. Pero vamos, este show es para el negro de Jesús, Black Jesus. Porque así como lo están mirando, that's the way they look at him now. Because now people are not even going beyond the Canelo Alvarez and 168. And I know that Bud Crawford also alluded in that. But people are trying to say that Bud Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, that Bud Crawford probably is better than Floyd Mayweather. Mira esa mierda. I'm sorry. El Bible's right in front of my face. I don't want to curse. Lo voy a poner ahí to the side. People are discussing Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford. Floyd Mayweather beat Corrales, Castillo, Ricky Hatton, Zab Judah, Oscar de la Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, Miguel Cotto, Victor Ortiz, when Victor Ortiz was good at the time. Vamos a poner Victor Ortiz ahí. Genaro Hernandez, Chop Corley, Shane Mosley. Okay, he beat legendary fighters, top fighters. Juan Marquez. When at that time, if go back and when Floyd Mayweather was in jail and the pound for pound list, do you know that Juan Manuel Marquez was number 1 or number 2 on the pound for pound list? So people could when people I'll be hearing people try to criticize Floyd Mayweather for the Marquez fight, but did you know that Marquez was on the pound for pound list that year? Number 1 and number 2, it was Manny Pacquiao, Marquez. And you're going to compare Floyd Mayweather to Bud Crawford because of Errol Spence Jr. win. So this guy has to build a career fighting 23 ex-world champions. Is it 23, 24? Algo así mismito. 23 ex-world champions. And this guy has to be Gamboa. Has to be Sean Porter and Errol Spence to be in the same sentence as Floyd Mayweather. It seems to me that beating Errol the True Spence is bigger than we ever imagined. Maybe people didn't look at Errol. Maybe people underestimated who Errol Spence was, because it seems like Bud Crawford being Errol Spence now got people talking. Bud Crawford Floyd, Bud Crawford Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard, the same man that made, not only beat, and I know he lost to Roberto Duran, but he did not only beat Roberto Duran, in which in the many pugilists, in many legendary fighters, best list of the best fighter of all time, got Roberto Duran top 5, top 10, and Sugar Ray Leonard just not didn't beat Roberto Duran. Sugar Ray Leonard made him say no mas. Sugar Ray Leonard, B. Hearns. Sugar Ray Leonard came after 3 years and beat marvelous Marvin Hagler. And we, as a community, want to compare Bud Crawford with Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather because what Bud Crawford did to Errol the Spence Jr. is either we think that Errol Spence was the second coming of God. Maybe Bud is Jesus and Errol Spence was Moses. I don't know how one victory grants you all this stuff. Now, Bud Crawford is a special talent. I'm only here to humble the minds because I know how we are in the boxing community. I know we see something good and we just, oh my God! Ah! The fans of boxing is acting like all them ladies that was throwing their panties at Michael Jackson in a concert. Ay, he called you. Oh my God, what are they guys? Toma mi panty. Ay, Bud Crawford. Ay. I get it. It was a fight that the fans wanted to see. It's one of the most primary fights in the sport of boxing. It's a fight that the fans was calling for. It was the fight to be made. But Errol the True Spence, in my opinion, is a good and great welterweight of this era. But not an all-time great. Not an all-time great. Floyd Mayweather beat all-time great talent. All-time great. Top 25, top 30, top 15, top 5. Floyd Mayweather beat those type of caliber fighters. Beat Maidana. Bud Crawford just beat Errol Spence. And people acting like they witnessed Jesus Christ walking on water. I try to find the nature of Bud, and I was trying to read the Bible. Ladies and gentlemen, open up. Let me read. I'm gonna show you where Bud is at. Let me just open up your Bibles. You got a Bible? I know you got a Bible somewhere. Let me open up the Bible. We go into Matthew chapter 14, verse 22. Then he made the disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side. While he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, when he went up on the mountaintop, oh Lord, by himself to pray. When the evening came, he was there alone. But the boat by this time was many furlongs distance from the land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified, saying, "It's a ghost!" And they cried, all for fear. But immediately he spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, it is. I have no fear." And Peter answered him, Bud Crawford, if it is you, bid me come to you and the water. He said, "Come." So Peter get out of the boat and walk on the water and came to Bud Crawford. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, Bud, save me, Bud. Bud immediately reached out his hand and caught him, saying to him, "O man of little faith." Oh man, little faith. Why did you doubt? You remember when Peter doubted? Y'all remember the story? And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshiped him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. That's Bud Crawford for them. Bud Crawford has become Black Jesus to these guys in the sport of boxing. That now they believe that Bud Crawford could grow and rise up into the 168 pounds and beat the Canelo Alvarez, the one and only Canelo Alvarez, the super middleweight undisputed King Nelo, aka Cartelo, aka Cash Nelo, aka Payday, aka get the fuck out of here, man. Bud Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz, Bud Crawford versus Bruce Ennis, Bud Crawford versus Keith and Tom Thurman, Bud Crawford versus Jamel Charlo, he's taken. Bud Crawford versus Tim Zhu, Bud Crawford versus Jamal Charlo, Bud Crawford versus Demise Andre, Bud Crawford versus David Benavidez, Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. We went from that to Errol Spence to him beating Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe that Terence Bud Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez at 168, jump 3 weight classes up, you should get smacked with a bucket of holy water. You should repent right now. You should repent right now. You should get smacked up with a bucket of holy water right now. Repent. Usted va para infierno, eh? Usted va para infierno. Please don't make fun of the Lord in vain. You will have consequences. People all think it's a joke. Please be more respectful. Punch on boxing. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Ocampo. I got my personal relationship with because I heard this before. My brother, I got a personal relationship with God. God is almighty. This is what I know. This is what I believe. I know my life. I know my experience. I know what I've been through. I know what I've overcome. Who said that God don't have a sense of humor? God is almighty. God knows how to work with you, know your strength, know your weaknesses, know you as a person, know when you're genuine and know when you're not. The Lord has a sense of humor. The Lord is good. The Lord, he sends his wrath. The Lord has all the personalities. God knows me the way I am me. He made me. And if he made me with a sense of humor, he knows who I am and he knows when I'm genuine. He knows when I'm disrespectful. That's the way that I believe. I have my personal relationship with God. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been good because of him. The way you got your personal relationship with God, with you, my brother, that's on you. God knows when you're sincere. God knows when you're genuine. God knows when you're disrespectful. I leave it like that, brother. That's why I always say I don't believe in the religion. I believe in having a personal relationship with God. That's why I said the best investment you can make in your life, have a personal relationship with God. Your weakness and strength is different from, we all different. God is not going to hand you. God, remember, what do people say? Well, God can give you something that you can't handle. Well, God, guess what? God gave me a sense of humor. I can handle the sense of humor. All right? But anyway, let's keep on talking. Omar Gonzalez in the building. Sessa in the building. What's good? Boots over everyone. 147. If knows boxing, you know what Boots he really had to fight. At least he got to fight a gatekeeper for us to say anything like that. Because I've been preaching about Boots. Boots is good. Boots is good. But you know what I'm saying? We still got to see him versus somebody. If we're going to say that they're better than the guys that already proven. I don't think Boots will have to fight a Keith Thurman and beat a Keith Thurman and beat somebody so us to really assess you the proper way and compare you to those that already have proven their stripes. You know what I'm saying? Now, does one win grant you all of this? Are we prematurely trying to assess Bud Crawford? Because to be honest, I don't want to take nothing away from Bud Crawford, but also I'm not trying to give extra credit. I'm not trying to take nothing away from Bud Crawford, but I'm not giving extra credit. Now, if y'all believe that Errol Spence was this gigantic and awesome, great fighter of all time, People forget that Bud Crawford was the favorite to win. He was not even the underdog. Bud Crawford was not even the underdog. So it was expected for Bud Crawford to win. Now, was it expected for Bud Crawford to win in the fashion that he won? I don't think so. No. Let's be real. Let's be honest. In the fashion that Bud Crawford won, no, I was not expected just like that. Nah, he knocked out all the water. What it did to me was solidify how much greater he was the whole time. Charles Edward Cheese in the building. Charles Edward Cheese in the building. We're not taking nothing. We're not taking the great. We're not taking. Look, Bud Crawford is an all-time great. Bud Crawford is the pound for pound number one. Arguably, y'all want to still argue that is whatever. Bud Crawford is pound for pound number one. Bud Crawford is 3 division world champion. He's a 440 undisputed. He's a 2-time undisputed world champion. In the 4 belt era, we're taking nothing away from Bud Crawford. What I'm saying is, what is this all of a sudden that Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez at 168? People believe that Bud Crawford could jump 3 weight classes because what he did to Errol Spence. I did not like the talk when people were saying Errol Spence versus Canelo Alvarez. I felt like, come on, y'all. I felt like that was dumb, in my opinion. So for me, this Bud Crawford, and look, and when they were talking about Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez, they were talking about 164 catchweight. People are not even saying this is a catchweight. People are saying that Bud Crawford could go 168. And then in other arguments, they'd be like, well, there's weight classes for a reason. I think when it comes to right now, a Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, people's all over the place. Now everybody want to say, well, Canelo Alvarez was a small fighter. All right, so now Canelo Alvarez was a small fighter. So now all his wins should be should be greater than what it was. You understand what I'm trying to say? Before people saying that Canelo Alvarez was cherry picking, oh, Canelo Alvarez is this, Canelo Alvarez is that. But now to justify the Bud Crawford fighting Canelo, now Bud and people that never was saying though Canelo Alvarez is a small guy, now was saying, well, Terence Bud Crawford is Canelo was smaller than Terence Bud Crawford. So now you know how great Canelo Alvarez is. See, even the people that never want to give the credit of Canelo Alvarez, now by pumping up Bud Crawford and saying, well, Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying? He good, and Canelo Alvarez is really not that big. That gives more credit and that gives more of a clarification that Canelo Alvarez is really damn that great. The narratives come back around and shoot you and boot you in the ass. Boxing Nerd 101. It's $2. Good looking out with a suit. $2 peso. The super chatty party is fantasy bias that will calm down soon. Bud fan too. Look, the hype is good. Look, to be honest, I rather people hype a fighter than hate a fighter. I rather the hype than the hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm all good with the hype, but hype the fighter. But don't say that this guy could go to the 168 3 weight classes and then beat Canelo Alvarez like Canelo Alvarez. What did Canelo Alvarez do? Now, I'm going to tell you like this, like I said yesterday. Now, Canelo Alvarez maybe lost a lot of respect from the fans. Maybe Canelo Alvarez maybe the people lost faith in Canelo Alvarez. Maybe people lost their respect for Canelo Alvarez. Something had to happen. Something happened. And yeah, I've critiqued the last three fights of Canelo Alvarez, but every time I say that Canelo Alvarez has declined, I always say that his decline is still probably better than everybody else. His decline, when I say that Canelo Alvarez decline, is not decline to just to shit on him. No. Let me see how many people should smash the like button. Look like they don't like the content with Bud Crawford. People don't like coming to the channel when we're talking about Bud Crawford and Canelo. I'm probably gonna have to stop talking about them. Who wins at 168? Canelo versus Bud. Canelo by brutal beatdown, 58%. Bud wins. Canelo ain't the same, 11%. Bud by decision, 15%. Canelo by decision, 17%. How many people got looking on? How many smash? Let me see. We got 35 people looking on a Thursday evening. It seems like people don't like this. Might be my last live when it comes to Bud Crawford and Canelo. It seems like people don't want to listen. People don't want to tune into in the last 3 days, people really don't want to tune into this content. So this might be probably people don't want to listen, but it might be my last content with Canelo and Bud. Seems like people don't come to my channel to listen about Bud or Canelo. It seems like. Let's see. If Canelo goes back up, slick Canelo like Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs. Go to David Benavidez to challenge Bivol. Now he got to do what Canelo Alvarez, what people pressure Canelo Alvarez to do. But did Canelo Alvarez really did that bad his last 3 fights that have people lost confidence to the point where they feel like a welterweight, like Bud Crawford, could walk into 168 and beat him? Because it's not even just about fighting. People are saying Sean Porter said that Bud Crawford beats him. This is Sean Porter. Sean Porter, a respectable voice and a respectable fighter, said that Bud Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez in 168. Something happened. Either people are blinded by Bud, either people feel like Bud beating Errol Spence was the standard in boxing, or all-time performance to the magnitude of the fight. I think that performance is one of the best all time because of the magnitude of the fight and in this era. Yes, I give Bud that. You got to give Bud that. But we're talking about matching him up with Canelo. We're not even saying Bud Crawford moving up to the 168 pounds to fight Gabe Rosado. I'm not saying move up and Zach Parker. We're not saying Bud Crawford moving up to fight John Ryder. We're saying Bud Crawford fighting the arguably best of this era, still in his prime, Canelo Alvarez. So it's either people lost so much faith in Canelo Alvarez, or people, I think people, it has to be something. Did y'all lost faith in Canelo Alvarez? Let's be real, let's be honest. Did people lost faith in Canelo Alvarez? Matter of fact, because of the John Ryder performance and maybe the Triple G trilogy in the championship rounds, is Canelo Alvarez a really great fighter anymore? It's your hashtag game punch. My hashtag game punch, maybe, right? I don't know, because sometimes I'll be throwing a lot of hashtags and it's still the same thing. But it's all right. It's all right. Whoever want to tune in, tune in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the boxing content creators doing their thing. I mean, throwing my hat in the answer, probably because he was going to fight Charlo at 154, and people thought that is easy work. So if Mel can fight Canelo, then so can Bud. Now put it up on Charles Edo Cheese. I don't think that Bud. There's people out there that felt like Bud could beat Charlo. I said Charlo beat Bud. I think there was lack of respect of Jamel Charlo. I think now there's a lack of respect for Canelo Alvarez. And now is an ultimate respect, which is good. I want people to respect Bud Crawford to the fullest. But are we going to respect Bud to the point of delusion? That's what it is. Are we going to respect Bud to the point of delusion? Everybody got their fan base. You know what I'm saying? We seen the delusion of Deontay Wilder fan base. We seen it. We seen the delusion of even the Errol Spence fan base. We seen the delusion of Canelo Alvarez fans. We seen the delusion of Manny Pacquiao fans. We seen the delusion. I was a delusional Mike Tyson fan. I was a delusional Mike Tyson fan. I thought that Mike Tyson, I came up with all the excuses in the world for Mike Tyson. So I know what being a toxic, delusional fan boxing of a fighter is. I used to say that Mike Tyson never, if Castamato never died, Mike Tyson would have never lost. I used to say those excuses. I said that when Mike Tyson lost to Lennox Lewis, I said he was drugged up. When Mike Tyson lost to Evander Holyfield, I said Evander Holyfield cheated and he was headbutting him, and that's the reason why I was so toxic of a Mike Tyson fan. I said that Mike Tyson was right for biting the ear of Evander Holyfield. I was so much of a Mike Tyson fan that I said that Desiree Washington, the woman that she should have never been in the hotel room with Mike Tyson. Like, what you think is gonna happen, woman? To this day, I don't believe that Mike Tyson raped that woman. I'm so much. I'm a fan. If y'all want to call fanboy, whatever for y'all, because I use fanboy a lot. Man, I'm a Mike Tyson fanboy. Yeah, I don't think that Mike Tyson can do no wrong. So I know when people could be toxic. I know. I was there once when I was younger. I was there once. I was there. I think versus Lennox Suits, he was drugged with depression pills. Evander Holyfield, he was cheating. He was headbutting him and stuff like that. If Customado never died, Mike Tyson was never going to lose. I don't to this day. I don't see nobody losing to Mike Tyson. So I know what it is. I know what it is. Did Bud Crawford show me anything that says, yo, he's gonna beat the crap out of Canelo Alvarez? That it showed me. I know it showed me that Bud Crawford could beat Errol Spence. I knew that. I know that. Skills pay the bills, right? That's what they say. Skill pay the bills. But what they think Canelo Alvarez got in his armor, what they think that Canelo Alvarez got in his bag, why people think that Canelo Alvarez got in the position that when he got, why Canelo Alvarez is already an all-time great, why Canelo Alvarez is an undisputed, why Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division world champion, why? Because he don't got skills. I keep on hearing this, well, skills pay the bills. Like if Canelo Alvarez got no skills all of a sudden. Like Canelo Alvarez just got there just because he just got there because he's Canelo Alvarez and he's Mexican. That's the way that Canelo Alvarez got his stuff. People always talking about skills pay the bills. Did y'all forget about the skills of Canelo Alvarez? But Earl, but I'm bigger now. Everybody want to claim that Canelo Alvarez is small. Now everybody want to say that. Bud Crawford wasn't saying that before the Errol Spence fight, but now he wants to let the people know, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just as big as Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Canelo Alvarez ain't that big. He ain't that. His height is not all that. So that's just solidify how great Canelo Alvarez is. Now, if y'all all going to talk about Canelo Alvarez's height, then you know what? If now everybody, because before we knew, but we never really used that as an excuse of his greatness or his failure. Sometimes the fanboys use the Bivol loss as a failure because of his height, but I didn't. I go on record. Y'all can see it when he lost to Bivol. I was telling the people, don't bring that height shit. Don't bring that height. Canelo is great. Canelo is great. It is what it is. If he lost, he lost. If he won, he won. Don't bring that height because when he beat Kovalev, nobody was talking about Canelo Alvarez's height. Everybody knows, everybody's seen Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather go face to face, and everybody's seen that Floyd Mayweather is even taller than Canelo Alvarez. We already know that Canelo Alvarez was small, but we never used that as a crutch. We never used it as an excuse. Not me. I never used that as an excuse. It is what it is. But now, for the little guys who have a potential fight for Canelo Alvarez, now they have to say, well, Canelo Alvarez ain't that big. Now, if Canelo Alvarez ain't that big, pause, and Canelo Alvarez ain't that, you know what I'm saying? He's just a little guy. Then you know what? What the F y'all was doing while Canelo Alvarez was daring to be great time and time again? Also, now all y'all the same size as Canelo Alvarez, right? So why wasn't y'all doing what Canelo Alvarez was doing? And then the same people get mad. Oh, y'all on Canelo Alvarez there. Oh, y'all think the Canelo Alvarez is all good. Oh, y'all think the Canelo Alvarez is almighty. Now you telling me that Canelo Alvarez is so, he's a midget now. Y'all think the Canelo Alvarez is this height now. This Canelo Alvarez now. For y'all. Now y'all giving Canelo Alvarez the credit because now everybody is taller than Canelo Alvarez. Everybody's bigger than Canelo Alvarez because now the smaller guys want a shot at Canelo Alvarez like Bud Crawford. So now he's the same size. Canelo Alvarez is this height now, I guess. Canelo Alvarez is this height now. Canelo Alvarez is that height now, right? So that tells me why Canelo Alvarez is great. Because now he's this short guy and little guy that beat all the bigger. Now he is the Manny Pacquiao now. See, Manny Pacquiao was given that title. Oh my God, Manny Pacquiao was small. He's really not a pure welterweight. He's a small guy. He's a small guy. Lomachenko was a small guy. No, Alvarez. Pájaro pequeño. Nobody was giving that to Canelo Alvarez, but now all of a sudden, 2023 is a parade. It's a parade. It's a marketing tool. Is that Canelo Alvarez is really small. Canelo Alvarez is not really big. Bud Crawford. Like I said yesterday, let's put it again. If you ain't show up yesterday to the live, you know what I'm saying?
54, right?
No, 68.
You want to go up to 68. So who would you fight at 68? Canelo?
If he win, or Charlo. Canelo's not a big guy.
Huh?
Canelo's not a big guy.
Huh?
Canelo's not a big guy.
Huh?
168, 175. I'm just 147, so I'll never see that fight ever really happen.
Far as like height,
right?
Nah. So yeah, that wouldn't be nothing that we had to see.
That would.
You's a liar.
Folks, I was thinking about this yesterday. I just kept on thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it live and I'm going to keep on talking about it because I still can't gather my thought of Bud Crawford never saw himself. He said never. I would never fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. 168, 170. I can never. I would never. I'm only 147 pounds. So I understand that Bud Crawford never grew past 147 pounds. Meaning in the division. He never fought at 154, never fought at 160. Canelo Alvarez haven't fought back down from 168. So Canelo Alvarez didn't grow, didn't shrink. But Crawford didn't shrink, didn't grow. So I was saying, where is this confidence coming from Bud Crawford? Because he beat Errol Spence. Now, sometimes when you do something great, you got confidence. We all know that. Sometimes you got that confidence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you feel like you invincible. You know what I'm saying? If you ever play ball, you know what I'm saying, and you just shoot, and everything you pull, and everything that you pull up, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you shoot up just goes in. It's like you watch the basket is like an ocean. You just throwing a rock to an ocean. Everything just going in, right? And you get that hype, you get that confidence, you get that momentum. And I understand that as an athlete. I understand that. He's feeling the momentum. He's feeling the hype. He's in the clouds right now. He feels invincible. It's all right feeling invincible. I think that a lot of athletes feel that way. With a great victory, I think a lot of athletes feel that way. I think that when T.O. beat Lomachenko, he felt invincible. I know when Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder, he felt invincible. I know that when Anthony Joshua beat Klitschko, he felt invincible. I know those type of wins. Even when Mike Tyson explained himself the way that he felt invincible, he felt like he's a god. I know, and maybe that is the reason, because Errol Spence was this guy that's supposed to give him the type of hard work or you know what I'm saying, the challenge of a lifetime, and it was easy. But by the way he beat Errol Spence and the way that people respected Errol Spence, he just see himself like, yo, I could beat anybody in the world. The confidence is beautiful. But just because he has that confidence, that doesn't mean we need to have the confidence like that. High, low, dímelo con los 2 pesos de plata. No, if it's moonshine, gotta be great, better than Frosted Flakes. Dímelo, high, low. Gracias de lo mío. High, low, high, low, high, low. Samir said, Victor Conte over there at Snack, let Crawford know he can bulk him up to 168. That's what changed with Crawford going there now. Ooh. Let's talk about it, because to be honest, that's the elephant in the room. You know what, man? Let's talk about it. Let's matter of fact, let's go in depth. It's time. Because we need to talk about this, because it's not gonna go away. I'm sorry, folks. And Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to take away from that great victory like that. But it's not gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. And like I said yesterday, the Victor Conte snack is not going to go away. It's not going to go away. Because it's like I said yesterday, if Victor Conte would have never stated what he stated, saying that he could pass any test, maybe people won't be talking about it. People will probably be a little bit skeptical, but people wouldn't be talking about it. Now, Snack, they endorsing Jerome Bruce Ennis and Snack now. But I'm just saying, it's the elephant in the room. Bud Crawford feels now that Canelo Alvarez is 168. It's something I've never seen before. But before Snack, he didn't have that confidence. Or before his victory, he didn't have that confidence. Or y'all, let me ask y'all this question. Do you feel Snack, his involvement with Snack is keeping you from believing he's 100% clean? Do y'all believe that Bud Crawford is 100% clean? Put it that way. Or him being with Victor Conte is always going to have you skeptical. Let's be real. Let's be real. Are y'all skeptical about Bud Crawford that he's with Victor Conte? Yes or no? Yes or no? I should put that on a poll. Are y'all skeptical of it? Are y'all looking? Are y'all looking at Bud Crawford like, Or is it something or is it not? Charles Edochie said 100% clean. Skeptical. Charles Edochie said 100% clean. Rigo says skeptical. What y'all think? Because it's something they're going to be talking about. It's something that already channels are talking about it. People are alluding to it. You know what I'm saying? Bud ain't on no dope. I'm only skeptical to those who fail drug tests. Fair. Samir. Anyone that fucks with Snack will always be in question. I believe he's legit. Honestly, I'm skeptical of everyone in combat sports. They make it Carna, Team Mexico, football, computer versus USA Snacks. Nobody cares about that. PEDs don't create skills. Okay, pugilism. Skeptical with a abstract mark. But it's clean, no doubt. High, low. Con los 2 pesos. Gracias de lo mío. Pap says skeptical. Mr. Moonshine, to keep up objectivity in the sport of boxing. Good looking now, good looking now, good looking now. Victor Conte is the gracias, high, low. I'm grateful, my brother. I'm grateful, my brother. I'm grateful for everybody that's donating to the channel and stuff like that, smashing the like button. Bro, don't go there, but Bud a clean fighter across the board. I'm not, Seattle, I don't want to go there. But it is an elephant in the room. People already talking about it. Whether it's the haters, whether people are on the fence. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I don't want to talk about it, but it seems like I got to talk about it because people are going, it's always trying to link now Victor Conte. And Victor Conte is very, very active in social media. You know what I'm saying? I think Bud Crawford should stay at 147, or honestly, maybe he could do something in the 154 division. Patrice says. Okay. And Omar Hernandez. Bud lives boxing. Bud lives boxing. Innocent, still proven guilty, but still skeptical, bro. I believe the skills and talent of Bud Crawford is one of the best of this era. It's an all-time great type of skill set. I don't think that Bud Crawford is dirty. But I'm still skeptical of Victor Conte, just a little bit. And I wouldn't be skeptical of Victor Conte if he never would have uttered that. If he never would have said that. If he never would have said that I could pass any VADA testing. If he never would have said that, then I'll give him a chance like a guy that did his mistakes, went to jail, paid his dues, came right back out and is trying to do good. But he should have never said that. He should have never said that. Because I don't know. He just should have never. I think it was a bad promo. It's bad marketing for him and his company and for the people that you're working with the type of reputation of him. He should have never said that. But Bud is clean, man. Bud is clean. but it's clean. But it's something that's giving him a hell of a confidence. Maybe he see himself as I'm talking about, like a guy walking on water. People people are just very, very high on that performance, beyond their imagination. I be feeling like everyone will be on the gear. Maybe, man. It's boxing, it's prize fighting, and there's always options. Victor Conte relishes in knowing he can get away with it. Very cavalier, to say the least. Victor Conte should not be allowed in anything in sports. I agree. He should not be. He messed up too many great names. I'm talking about all-time greats. Barry Bonds, Lance Armstrong. These are once in a lifetime type of talent, and he dirtied them, bro. Barry Bonds should be looked as the best baseball player that ever lived. And because of Victor Conte, he's not even in the Hall of Fame. Now, of course, people got to take accountability, and they're going to be like, what about Barry? He messed up America's sports, bro. Baseball has never been the same. Baseball has never been the same. That used to be my favorite sport. Baseball used to be my favorite sport. And it got to the point where it's just too many. It got watered down with the steroids that we didn't even know who was good and who was really good. It became so toxic. It wasn't fun anymore. Victor Conte single-handedly fucked up one of the best American sports, one of the best athletes. And now he's coming to boxing. And he got his open doors. And I'm not saying that he's not a good guy. I'm not saying he didn't pay his dues to society. All I'm saying is he's always going to have this little skepticism. Victor Conte messed the Barry Bonds. Yes. One of my favorite players, the best left-hander ever, the best baseball player ever, the best left-hander, Barry Bonds, the best right-hander, Manny Ramirez. Plus, let the people know to watch Hall of Shame documentary on Netflix about Conte. They'll understand after. Oh, yeah. I heard about people saying about that Netflix special. How about the year Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire? They were both, man, 1996, the best year, man. And steroids mess all that up, man. I think that baseball shot themselves on the foot. They should have let that rock. Y'all should have let that rock, man. Man, that was an incredible year. And not forget also Ken Griffey was on that. Ken Griffey was the third guy. Ken Griffey was doing his thing that year too. But even Jose Canseco. But I think that Jose Canseco was already a known cheater, and people didn't like Jose Canseco. That people could have brushed Jose Canseco off. But they went after everybody that made baseball, man. That year was the best, man. Oh, I was still playing baseball that year. But anyway, now he's in boxing. And like I said yesterday, the reason why people are not looking at Snack like that, because they got a lot of the fighters are not known for knockout. You know, Devin Haney, Andre, Plant. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not known to be knockout artists, so nobody looked at Snack like, oh my God. People are looking at it like they're clean. And I think that Mise Andre is clean. I think that Caleb Plant is clean. I think that Devin Haney is clean. I think that Bud Crawford is clean. It's just now, it seems like, there's a content to it. I think people are shocked the way that, I think people are still in shock. That's what it is. Let's be honest. I think people are still in shock that Bud Crawford beat Errol Spence that way. They in shock. Do y'all need to see Bud Crawford fight Errol Spence again to like? I think people be like, nah, man. Yeah, I know Bud was good, but damn, yo, I didn't think it was gonna be like that. But that performance, even though that was a great performance, it still doesn't warrant for me to say that he'll go to the 160 and beat Canelo Alvarez. Don't you know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful performance, but that doesn't mean he's gonna be Canelo Alvarez at 168. That doesn't mean there's a right fight to make or a realistic fight to make. Now, if you want that moolah, you want that money, maybe that's some money. I mean, Bud Crawford wants that money, then okay. Charles Edochie says, I just don't see how Spence could do better, bro. That's, you know what, Charles? I said that about Deontay Wilder, and I think that he actually did better in the third fight, even though that he got flatlined in the third fight. But Deontay Wilder actually did better. I think Deontay Wilder in the trilogy was the best performance out of all the three. The third fight was the best fight. So I believe that you could go back into the drawing board and be better. That doesn't mean you're going to win, but I think that you could be better. I think that Earl True Spence could be better in 154. I don't think that I don't think that he is that bad the way that he's shown. I think he could do better. Do I think that he could beat that Bud Crawford could lose to Earl Spence? No. I never thought that Bud Crawford could lose to Errol Spence. I keep on saying that. I don't even think that Errol Spence beats Keith Thurman. A lot of people thought I was joking around. But now they see. Now Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. What do y'all feel about that fight now? Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. Now y'all really think that Errol Spence was this guy that was levels above a Keith Thurman? How much you want to bet that a Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fight now is, oh, okay, it's a good fight. It's always been a good fight. It's a welterweight division. I think in 154, I do think that Errol Spence could do better, but I think that Bud Crawford is still whooping. But I think he'll do better, though. I mean, he ain't do nothing in any second of that fight. And look, there was some shots that Errol Spence did connect. There was some shots that Errol Spence did connect. See, I always had Thurman, no matter which Thurman showed up, to be honest, because of the skills. And it's not about, in the welterweight division, when it comes to the elite fighters, it was never about that. I think that they was all in different type of levels. I thought they was on the same level, but styles to make fights. I think that Bud Crawford mobility, awkwardness, and stuff like that would do a better matchup was a Thurman. Because he has the mobility, he has the footwork. He's not going to stay in front of you. He know how to use the ring. He know how to set traps. You know how he has power off the back foot. He got power with both hands. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't waste any punches and stuff like that. So I always felt that Keith Thurman and Bud Crawford was always the ultimate fight. Bomac always thought that was the ultimate fight for his fighter in terms of Bud Crawford. I used to say it all the time, but people were so stuck on this Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. They try so hard, even though that, it was Keith Thurman that pushed that was inactive and things of that nature. But people was really trying to push Keith Thurman out. Even when Keith Thurman beat Danny Yusuf Garcia, if y'all remember that same year when Bud Crawford and Errol Spence was on First Take, and Errol Spence is saying that Keith Thurman is the guy to beat at welterweight, and Bud Crawford was saying that Keith Thurman is the man to beat at welterweight, and people were saying, and Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman was trying to say, no, it's Errol Spence, Bud Crawford to Errol Spence to Bud Crawford. Give me 1 second. No, not yet.
Oh, come on. Let's see.
Salute. Anybody could have whapped EJ that night. He was off Vicodin or something. True. But if Pac-Man dropped him at 40, what you think Bud would have done? Pac-Man is Pac-Man, though. Charles Edward Cheese. Pac-Man is Pac-Man. Don't matter if he was 40, 35, 30. Pac-Man is an all-time great. Pac-Man is an all-time great. If he get dropped by Pac-Man at 40, that doesn't mean that other guys it was a good shot. I don't see none of those guys delivering that shot the way that Manny Pacquiao did. The way that Manny Pacquiao threw them shots, I don't see Earl or Bud throwing the shots the way that Manny Pacquiao threw them shots. Look at the way he knocked down Keith Thurman. I don't see Errol Spence having the footwork to deliver the shots the way that Manny Pacquiao delivered that shot. And you know, some people get dropped by other people. Some people don't get dropped by other people. Mikey Garcia got dropped early in his career, but Errol Spence couldn't drop Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? People with more power could have knocked out Marquez, knocked out Manny Pacquiao cold. Keith Thurman got more power than Manuel Marquez. He could have knocked out Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to look at it that way, but we shouldn't look at it that way. David Benavidez got dropped early in his career. Teofimo Lopez got dropped, but he didn't get dropped by Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? People act like boxers don't learn and get better after nights. And they do get, and it's true, they do get better because it's not like basketball. You know, they only fight 2 times a year. So in 6 months, you could get extremely better. If you do and also you do a pre-camp to the pre-camp, and then you walk into camp, you could get extremely better in boxing. That's why a lot of people shouldn't stay stuck on a victory or loss. Mikey was defensively responsible and could see everything Spence was doing. And I said a long time that Spence wasn't that guy when he fought Mikey. People thought I was an Errol Spence hater. Many people thought I was an Errol Spence hater, and I was saying I just don't see Errol Spence as a special fighter. So when Bud Crawford did to Errol Spence, I'm like, damn, I didn't expect it like that. I was trying to give Errol Spence more respect than I was actually given, but in my analysis, I never look at Errol Spence like that. I just never did. I never did look at Errol like he was something special. I think he was a simple fighter that could be figured out, but his accumulation of punches was special. In terms of his motor, I liked his motor. He threw a lot of punches. He had a lot of grit. You know what I'm saying? He's fundamentally sound, but he's nothing special like, oh my God, he did this. He was never that to me. Thurman and Bud was the ultimate fight at welterweight for me, always. That's why I even still want to see that fight. But the thing is that Bud Crawford did so good versus Errol Spence that people now feel like Bud Crawford is beyond the welterweight, beyond 154, even beyond middleweight, to just say that Bud Crawford could go to 168 and beat Canelo Alvarez. I don't even think that Bud Crawford could go to 160 and beat Jamal Charlo, the brother that been on for two and a half years. I don't even think that Bud Crawford could beat Jamal Charlo, let alone fight Canelo Alvarez and beat him at 168. Charles Edochie says Spence is what you call a fan favorite because of the heart and motor. Yeah, he is a fan favorite. He throws down. He got a very fan friendly fight style. Stays in the pocket, throws punches and all. Bud by beatdown, just like Spence. I don't why people still doubt Crawford. Very interesting. It's not even about doubting Bud Crawford. I think people are doubting Canelo. Jay Perez. You said Bud by beatdown like Spence. So you think that Bud Crawford, and this is what I mean, Jay Perez think that Bud Crawford would beat down Canelo Alvarez in 7 rounds in 168. It's either you think very highly of Bud, or you think that you really think that Canelo Alvarez ain't shit. Let's be honest, right, Jay Perez? To say that beat Bud by beatdown just like Spence, that means you believe at 168. You never really seen a Canelo Alvarez being hurt, getting dropped. Everybody knows in boxing, whether you were a fan of Canelo Alvarez or not, he got the best beard, the best chin. You think that Bud Crawford ends Canelo Alvarez in 7 rounds? Is that what Jay Perez? That's how you look at Canelo Alvarez, and this is what I mean. Jay Perez is one of the fans that believe that Bud Crawford beats the crap out of Canelo Alvarez in 7 rounds. Wow. And that's what I'm saying. It's either you lost totally respect for Canelo Alvarez, or you never thought highly of Canelo Alvarez. That Bud Crawford could go. That you said beat down just like Spence. He beat him down in 7 rounds, Jay Perez. You said beat down. Not even Bivol could beat down. Not even Triple G. You're saying that that Bud Crawford could shoot up. That means that Crawford then is beyond the Canelo Alvarez in 168. Then let's go to Bud Crawford fighting Beterbiev. Who wins? Bud Crawford versus Beterbiev, Jay Perez. Because now we're going, you're saying beat down Canelo. Okay, Canelo at 168. All right, let's go. If you could beat down Canelo at 168, then let's bypass everybody else. What do you feel about Canelo, Bud Crawford versus Beterbiev? Let's go a little notch up. That would be a 50-50 fight. Oh, now I think it could go 12, but I Crawford will whip his ass. Okay. Now you went away from the beat down. Crawford by 12 rounds of beat down. Okay, now 12 rounds. He's gonna beat down Canelo within 12 rounds. Okay. How about Jay Perez? How about Bud versus David Benavidez? How'd that go? Jay Perez. How about Bud Crawford versus David Benavidez? What you think happened in that fight? Because there's people that feel like, that's the ultimate fight for Canelo Alvarez, but he gets a beat down for Canelo. So how about David Benavidez? Bud Crawford versus David Benavidez. Who wins that fight? He said nothing. Jay Perez said, whoa, now that's a good fight. Yo no puedo. Yo no puedo, mi gente. Yo no puedo, mi gente. Yo no puedo con esto, man. Bud Crawford, David Benavidez is a good fight. I'm gonna do a video of that tomorrow, yeah. Porque ya, si la gente cree que Bud beats Canelo Alvarez, let's go to Bud Crawford, David Benavidez. I mean, no, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Man, if you lose control, you think Canelo feet don't gotta keep up with Bud's feet and reach. I think that Canelo Alvarez is not as athletic as Bud Crawford, but there is thing that I think that people don't know, that I think they misinterpret athleticism. There's a different type of athleticism on the gridiron, right? On the gridiron, the basketball court, and in the ring. I'm gonna give you an example. Tyson Fury is more athletic than Deontay Wilder in the ring. But outside of the ring, Deontay Wilder is more athletic than Tyson Fury. So there's a difference. See, Canelo Alvarez, what Canelo Alvarez have, he has athleticism and he has rhythm in the ring. Now, if you put him in the gridiron and you put or in the basketball court and you got Bud Crawford overall is an athletic athlete. Both guys are athletic in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I think people misinterpreted the athleticism is the difference being an athlete in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder used to play basketball in college and used to play football. So Deontay Wilder is very athletic. But if you compare the athleticism of Tyson Fury in the boxing ring, Tyson Fury is more athletic than Deontay Wilder. Understand? He got better footwork. He knows around the ring. He's more athletic. He's more agile. He's more finesse. His footwork is better in the boxing ring. He's more athletic than Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder overall is more athletic. So it's a difference. So a guy like Canelo Alvarez always cut the ring off. It don't matter who you are. Look, Billy Joe Saunders used to be a guy that moves better in the ring. He cut the ring off. Caleb Plant looked like he moved better than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo cuts the ring off. It don't matter. Canelo Alvarez has a way of cutting the ring off, positioning himself. He has the rhythm to do so. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez has been in that ring his whole life. He knows how to move inside that ring. Cesar, con los 2 pesos. Cesar, good looking out, Cesar. Appreciate you, my brother. ¿Qué lo que, Sanchez? Dímelo, mi hermano, man. I wanted to see that at 160 when BJ's was in a prime. But can't blame Nello for that. You know, it's like, that's another one that fell through on Andre too. Yep, he tested positive, but people don't like to talk about that Charles of the Cheese. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that means Andre hasn't fought a champion, but nobody talk about when Billy Joe Saunders tested for PEDs. They don't like to talk about that. They still bring up, what about Zach Parker and James Beck? Chuba, Saul Alvarez isn't Errol Spence Jr. I think Canelo is more athletic than Errol Spence. I think Canelo is more. I always said that Errol Spence got 2 left feet. Errol Spence can't fight backwards. You know what I'm saying? I seen Canelo fight backwards. I seen Canelo Alvarez in his toes. I seen the fight that people don't like the most of Canelo Alvarez when it came to the Triple G series was the first fight. But if you really, I want people to look at that fight again and forget about who you think who won or lost. Look at the mobility of Canelo Alvarez. I was shocked the way that Canelo Alvarez elevated his game and put some new tools in his box. Canelo Alvarez was working the outside. Canelo Alvarez was moving around. I think the reason why people really thought that he lost the first fight is because people didn't expect the mobility of Canelo Alvarez. People expected the Mexican style, and that's why in the second fight, Canelo said, okay, I'm going to give you the Mexican style. But people didn't appreciate Canelo Alvarez's growth. People didn't appreciate and I was on like, yo, Canelo Alvarez has been working on his game because I'm a student of the game. But people just didn't want that fight to be like that. The Mexican people didn't want Canelo Alvarez to fight that style versus Triple G. And I think that's why they gave more Triple G the benefit of the doubt. Even though that it was a close fight, could give it a Triple G that victory, you know what I'm saying? I think it was a close fight. I don't think it was a robbery, but you could have given it a Triple G. You could have given it a draw. If I saw it back, it could have gone either way, in my opinion. But Triple G, if you're going to give it a son, you give it a Triple G the first fight. The 1 and 2 was fantastic. You know? So, but I don't think that Errol Spence had that. He never had that. Errol Spence, if you look at Errol Spence been fighting the same way ever since the amateurs. Errol Spence been fighting the same way. Go look at Errol Spence in the amateurs. He never changed his style. He never got like better. There's other fighters that we've seen Canelo Alvarez growth. We've seen Bud Crawford's growth. We've seen Jermell Charlo's growth too. A lot of people don't want to give credit to Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo wasn't this knockout artist. He was knocking people out, but not like this knockout artist. This, you know what I'm saying? Like a Tang was knocking people out, like a Thurman was knocking people out first, and like Boots was knocking people out, you know. Then when Jermell Charlo changed trainers and stuff like that, planted his feet better, and he started really putting that hurt in. And now he's back to being he's got the mobility now with Joan Guzman, and now I think he's a complete fighter and a more dangerous fighter. Triple G was never a monster. Canelo showed him in all 3 fights who's the king. Canelo Alvarez did his thing, and he was a smaller fighter. That Spence beating was very realistic. It was. But I didn't see Errol Spence as this world beater. I didn't see him like that. Maybe that's why I'm more level-headed with the Bud Crawford victory. I still want to see Bud and Thurman. Everybody just running away from that. A lot of people's living in La La Land. Everybody just think that Keith Thurman ain't shit. If you ask Bud's people, ask Bud's trainer. Go ask Bernie. I had an interview with Bernie the boxer. I have an interview with Bernie the boxer. Bernie the boxer has Keith Thurman beating Errol Spence. Bo Mack says that Keith Thurman is a tougher fight than Errol True Spence. So why is Terence Bud Crawford team so high on Thurman? But it's funny that the public hears Bud Crawford's team, but they're like, no, it was Errol Spence all day. Now people are humble. People are humbling themselves. Hold on. Thurman better jump on Spence while he's. I was responding to that chat punch. Crawford did his thing on everything. Yeah, Crawford did his thing. Yeah, I think that Crawford will do the same thing to Errol Spence at 154 because I think they're going to activate the rematch clause. Well, I think how many more days left? When did they fight? July 1? July 29th, right? So they got one more week. Errol Spence got one more week to activate the rematch clause because remember in the contract Errol Spence needs to activate the rematch clause within 30 days. So if you don't see Errol Spence activate the rematch clause, this week or what's the day? Yeah, he got one more week. Errol Spence got 7 days to activate the rematch clause. If you don't activate the rematch clause, I still think that Bud Crawford will fight Errol Spence because I think that Bud Crawford, he's always praising Errol Spence that he gave him the opportunity and stuff like that. So I think he'll be a man of his word, and Errol Spence will be like, "Yo, I need a little bit more time. Let's get the rematch at 154. I did you that favor. I'd be a man of your word and stuff like that." And I think that that's what's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think that they're gonna redline that contract or reconstruct the contract and probably get that Errol Spence. Hey, if they want to do that Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford in Super Bowl, like I was talking about, Tank Davis versus Teofimo Lopez Super Bowl weekend, that would be incredible as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Jermell Charlo and Bud Crawford is going to be fighting, in my opinion, to be honest. I think they both calling for the fight, but I think it'll be a disservice for Jermell Charlo. I think it wouldn't be physically a smart move because if he goes to 168, he's gonna try to do. And let's say if he wins, he got Canelo Alvarez the rematch. There's a Canelo Alvarez rematch, so there is no Bud Crawford and Jermell Charlo. If Jermell Charlo loses, then why would you want Jermell Charlo to come back down to the 154, do what Roy Jones Jr. did, deplete himself, do what Kell Brook did? He's 34. Well, he wants to do a man. Look, it's not good for nobody. Roy Jones Jr. coming down was a shell of himself, coming back down 2 weight classes. Kell Brook never was the same. Oscar De La Hoya, when he came back down from 160 to fight Manny Pacquiao in 147, end of his career. At that age, 34 years old, Charlo, to come back down to 154, you just now is like you could. All money ain't good money, man. All money ain't good money. All money is not good money. If you could, I believe that Jermell Charlo can make other fights and can make money. Now, if you fight, put it this way, if Bud Crawford could fight Canelo Alvarez at 168, what Bud Crawford says, then go up to if Jermell Charlo's already at 168, then go and fight Jermell Charlo at 168. See, we're gonna hold on to Terence Bud Crawford's word. Jermell Charlo don't have to come back down to 154, and remember, he wouldn't be undisputed. So it's no use. It's no use of now speeding the fight so he could become a 3-division undisputed world champion because they're gonna strip him. I hope the WBO don't strip him, but if they're gonna strip him, then why does Jermell Charlo has to rush back? If they strip him for one belt, I think that Jermell Charlo should just vacate all the belts. People don't remember after Brooke beat Porter, he was on top of the world, and he got stabbed in the stomach, and that changed his life for real. Yeah, Kell Brook was the man. Remember after the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight, they was talking about what's next for Floyd Mayweather. They mentioned 3 names: Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Kell Brook. Bud should get the belts at 154 and 160 for the record books. I think that 160 is there for the taking, to be honest. And I think if Bud Crawford feels that he could go to 168 and fight Canelo, then I think that Bud Crawford should already go to 160. If people are saying, well, Bud Crawford is walking around at 168, then fight at 160. It's open. It is open. Let's go. Look. I think that Bud Crawford could do damage at 160. I think he could set his mark. Matter of fact, let's do that. Bud Crawford moves to 160 now. Bud Crawford versus Jamal Charlo. Bud Crawford versus Jamal Charlo at 160. Let's do that. Jamal Charlo don't got an opponent. Bud Crawford don't got an opponent. If he doesn't, if you don't want to fight the rematch, I mean, if Errol Spence doesn't want to fight the immediate rematch, Bud Crawford versus Jamal Charlo at 160. Look at 160. 160 is there for the taking. Jaime Munguia is at 168 right now. Look at this. 160 is a dead division. The lineal champ is vacate. Janibek, would he go back to? He'll be. I think Bud Crawford beats Janibek. Gualtatiri, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Oh, he's gonna be fighting Janibek, that guy, Victor Gualtatiri, whatever how you pronounce that name. Hey, if people feel like, how about this? Carlos Adamas, Bud Crawford. Lara's the champion. Did they elevate Lara? Did they elevate Lara to super champion? Yeah, I think they elevated Lara. Oh no, he's a regular champion. They don't have no super champion in the WBA. Lara versus is it Lara supposed to be fighting Denis Garcia, right? I'm just saying, go to 160. Hyman will get smoked by Crawford. He's at 168. Get that money fight. Hey, if Hyman, and look, if Bud Crawford gets Hyman Munguia 168 and then he smokes him, then that would be then to be honest, we'll be like, yo, yeah, get Canelo Alvarez, because he already inserted himself at 168. I think that Bud Crawford will do good versus Jaime Munguia. I don't think highly of Jaime Munguia, to be honest. I don't think highly of Jaime Munguia. I don't think that he got the skills to pay the bills. I think he's a very, very simple fighter, and a loss is right around the corner for Jaime Munguia, and his team knows that. A loss is right around the corner for Jaime Munguia. His defense is poor. His footwork is poor. He could sit down and throw some power shots, but I don't see him getting better either. I agree with you, Nelly. I agree with that. I don't see Jaime Munguia as I don't even talk about Jaime Munguia. Suldo Ramirez is going to be facing Joe Smith. That's going to be a good fight. I like that fight. Cruiserweight. I like that fight. Suldo Ramirez versus Joe Smith. Good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good comeback fight for both of the fighters. Crawford coming for all them jealous haters. I like Crawford. I just don't see this. I just don't respect this 168 Crawford versus Canelo. Like, if Canelo is some shitty ass dude that, yeah, he's gonna get beaten up by a guy that, nah. It's either, if I do believe that fight is good, if I would say, damn, Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 is good, that means I lost all faith in Canelo Alvarez. I wouldn't, and that means I don't think highly of Canelo Alvarez. If I think that Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 is a good fight, then that means I lost. I don't think that Canelo Alvarez is that good, and I think that he's great, just like I think that Bud Crawford is great. But 3 divisions up, nah, that's too much. That's too much. And maybe because Canelo Alvarez, the way that he performed the last 3 fights, people just lost faith in him. Let me see who wins. 126 people voted. Who wins at 168? Canelo versus Bud. Bud wins. Canelo ain't the same. 60%. Canelo by brutal beatdown. 52%. Bud by decision. 16%. Canelo by decision. 16%. So most of the people got Canelo Alvarez by brutal beatdown. 53% got Canelo Alvarez beating Bud Crawford by brutal beatdown. Crawford not going up that high. I hope not for Canelo. I hope not. But hey, it's a good way to promote yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. And people always want to talk about, well, what about payday? Well, everybody want payday. They all prize fighters. Everybody does. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants payday. In my opinion, if you want Canelo Alvarez, if Bud Crawford wants to fight Jamal Charlo, it's payday. If it's Errol Spence, the rematch is payday. You know what I'm saying? Everything is payday. It's a business. They risk their lives. They should get paid. And like Bud Crawford, I think with this victory versus Errol Spence, remember, I was one of the ones that said, yo, Bud Crawford and Errol Spence should not fight for less than $20 million. And I think that's what they got, more than $20 million. But ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this one short today. Let's keep this one short. Let's keep the one short. Go and do a couple of videos and stuff like that to end the night. Y'all already know tomorrow we back at it. Different type of content. There's other things that's happening in the sport of boxing. Potential fight for Teofimo Lopez. Gervonta Tank is three options right now on the table. We got Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Jose Ramirez. Let's see who Teofimo Lopez is going to be fighting as well. We got again Suldo Ramirez going to be fighting Joe Smith Jr. Demetrius Andre versus David Benavidez. They haven't finalized the deal. Let's say they can finalize the deal anytime soon. They just announced that Mario Barrio is going to be fighting Yordenis Ugas for the WBC interim. I thought there was going to be the WBC interim was going to be Keith Thurman at least. I don't know what's happening with Keith from Tom Thurman. Where we got to start filling out the rest of the year. Yeah, man. We do got Tyson Fury going to be fighting this weekend. We got Alexander Usyk going to be fighting Daniel Dubois. A lot of people got to give credit to Daniel Dubois though. Daniel Dubois is one of the young fighters. Well, how old is Daniel Dubois? 24, 25 years old, and he already risked it with Joe Joyce. I can't wait to see the rematch with Joe Joyce and Zhang. So you got some good heavyweight bouts coming up. You know, we got some good heavyweight bouts coming up outside the Tyson Fury versus the UFC fighter. So what do we got? Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's see if Gervonta Tank Davis gets he might fight by the end of the year. Might wait for Teofimo Lopez. Who else? Jamal Charlo was back training, but he's been back training all year. So I don't know if he's gonna be back in the ring. Who else? Keith from Tom Thurman. I'm hearing some rumors that Keith Thurman may be fighting Stanionis. I can't believe that they already have announced Ugas versus Mario Barrios. Ugas had eye surgery, and Thurman is still not fighting. Man, Keith Thurman, man, his career has been one of the most disappointing careers. One of the most disappointing careers. I can't believe how his career has turned out to be. You're really into it. Nice picture of Jesus. Max Santana con los 2 pesos. Gracias de lo mío. Sub Punch. Viva Mexico. Good looking out. Appreciate you. Danny Medina in the building. Dímelo, Donnie. What's up to Punch and the boxing world? Was good, Drizzy Joe. So yeah, man. I don't know what happened to Keith Thurman's career, man. It's so horrible the way it is turned out. It was supposed to be this great, promising career. It's just turned into, I don't even understand it. I can't believe they already announced a Ugas fight at Mario Barrios. Shout out to Mario Barrios. He's getting a lot of good fights, man. Whoever is really managing Mario Barrios, man, you got to give him a hell of a job. You telling me in 3 out of the last 4 fights, you got Ugas, Thurman, and Tank? Man, whoever's managing Mario Barrios, you are doing one hell of a job. You're doing one hell of a job. So let's see what's going to be happening with that. So I think that the year is going to, this 2023 epic year started with David Benavidez, and I think it's going to end with David Benavidez. I'm not sure it's going to be a big victory, but it's going to end with a David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andre. I can't wait for the fight. If T.O. doesn't fight on Super Bowl, he's going to be fighting in the Heisman night. That's going to be in December. So we'll see. But I think that this year is going to end with a bang. It started with a bang. It's going to end with a bang. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, shout out to the people. Shout out to the members. Cesar, Samir, everybody. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the people that donated to the channel today. Love y'all. Tomorrow we back at it. 6:30, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.